Hi, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about the alternative media. I watched alternative media in the afternoon for 5 or 6 hours. So far, I think you can say it was the breakfast. Now we are in the lunch. We don't love anymore. Things are getting serious. This is the domain of the alternate knowledge we talked about. And it's made by the alternative media. That is to say, alternate to the mainstream media that is used by, state politics and official education. And this alternative media actually is broadcast by amateur, but these amateurs become professional with time, and they are doing good job. As everything has an alternative, this media is very large, very big, For this reason, I won't talk about the content. Otherwise, you don't end the topic. I'll talk about the form. This alternative media is a cycle of 10 months. It did last 10 months, actually. And it is divided in two parts. The mountain, actually, intensive 7 months, and there are 139 channels. And the second is the plain, extensive 3 months, 121 channels. Why I named like this, the mountain and the plain? Of course, it is an image, a metaphor, I think they call. It represents the highness, actually, highness of the knowledge, and it's truly the mountain. When you are at the top of the mountain, you can see far away, But going to the top of the mountain is not easy. You have to work seriously, because you have to know, to learn, and to above all to understand what you are watching and you are listening. For this reason, it is intensive, actually, It's not soft. It's very hard work. And in this mountain, we have several domains, chapter, maybe field. The first is the wisdom and knowledge. The second, overall. Third, alternative geography. After that, we have alternative geography and history, alt geohistory. After we have alt history. After that, we have intro to alt reality. And after that, we have alt reality. And at the end, we have some sites. In the wisdom and knowledge, there are 3 channels. It's about 3 philosophers, I think, thinker. The first is about Manly P. Hall. Second is Alan Watts, and third, Terence McKenna. I choose these 3, but you can choose what you like, actually, You are not bound to this. I like listening to people, and sometimes they are very deep. in the knowledge. But I think somehow you are bound maybe to Manly Hall because he lived 90 years, I think. I don't know. I think he died in 1990 actually. He was 90 years old, and he lived at the 20th century, and he knows what happened in the first part of the 20th century. And he had big knowledge about that. And you can lean on, quote. And Alan Watts and Terence McKenna are also good, I think. After wisdom and knowledge, we have the overall. It's very general, It's in two parts, A and B. In the first, we have, it's centered on the UFO, UFO, extraterrestrial and aliens, things like that. And the first, coast to coast, I think it has been found by Art Bell. Now it's George Noory and sometimes George Knapp. And they are doing good job for years now, I think 30 years nearly. And there are many good channels in this part too. And the second part, we have what we call the podcast actually, It's also overall, it's from Alien also into Ghost, Hollow Earth, Flat Earth, everything. Dystopian future, fake story, everything and you want. It's not to be taken lightly because it's something I think very hard to believe, but it exists actually. You have to understand. I don't want to go in the content, but in the alternative media, everything makes sense. What you don't understand, for instance, in the mainstream, here everything makes sense. Everything fits somewhere. And you can't deny or refuse some knowledge, some information. Everything is taken. Because in this case of alternative media, you have not privilege of the knowledge, and everything is possible. And I think in the alternative media there is a rule actually. The possibility is reality, and if you use correctly, rightly, this rule, you are not deceived actually by some lie. But it can be also a lie. There are a lot of lies. For this reason, the rule of the possibility is reality is very good, I think. It's very useful. After that, we have the alternative geography. There are 30 channels. There is a file, I'll call it Alternative Geography and Society, and there are some notes next to it. There are some channels I put in this file. They are not in the file of Alternative Geography and Society because I didn't watch them yet. I will. I don't know when, maybe. I don't know. And in the file Alternative Geography and Society, it's about the alternative geography actually, you know, the shape of the Earth, the sky, moon, sun, everything you want to hear, you want to know about geography. The shape, the form of the continent, I don't know, everything. And there are many good channels, very, very good. From Crow 777, many good channels. Bruce C. Olds, Dwayne Keldon, Richie from Boston, initiated by No Media. Globebusters, DITRH also. Citolan Media, Rodrigo Ferrarinens, and Eric Dubé and Mark Sargent. And they are very well known in the flat earth community. With this channel, maybe in this channel, you can find everything you want to know about geography, alternative geography. Everything you don't understand in the mainstream, you can find in these channels. But you know, I don't want to go in the content, but for instance, if you understand some before going in this area, you have to ask yourself, you know, about the mainstream knowledge. If you don't wonder, it will be very hard for you to understand these guys. It can be any knowledge, any information that you have learned from the mainstream. You know, it can be a quote in a novel of the 19th century, in which, you know, a sailor in a boat on a ship talk about the great ocean of the South. Of course, for years you don't understand why great ocean of the South, but with these guys you understand quickly. After alternative geography, we have the alternative geohistory. It's in two parts: aerial archaeology, artificial coastline, and aerial photography. It's about Starford. In the first, we have the name of the channel is Reimagine Reality. It's about artificial coastline and very good. And also in the second file we have Colm Gibney. It's about Starford. It's very good too. There are a lot of information in these two channels too. I think it's enough for today. We're gonna continue or knowing about my list. Next time I will see the alternative story. Thank you for listening, and to the next audio.